Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And the Stormers have just beaten the Bulls 26 points to 30 at Loftus with a late try from Paul de Vet, the difference between the two sides. After what was almost going to be an absolutely epic comeback from the Bulls, the Stormers managed to hold their nerve and find a late try to get the victory. And after the first half that the Stormers did, very much a deserved victory. However, it must be said that they almost did very well to throw away that game, which would have been heartbreaking for a lot of Stormers fans. But before we break the game down, please do smash the like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Unfortunately, we actually missed the last 5 minutes and the last try because of a feed issue with SuperSport, which took down the entire feed. So we didn't see the try, but we know that was Paul de Vet. We know that Damien Willemse and Warwick Lunt had something to do with it as well. But the Stormers' first half, they outclassed the Bulls. They outclassed the Bulls. You can't say anything besides that. They went up 18 points to 0, very deservedly. They scored some very nice tries. The Bulls could not get into the game at all. They were making stupid mistakes. The Stormers were winning the scrums. Their lineouts looked very good. They were disrupting the Bulls' play, and it was very exciting. And the Bulls got a try just before halftime, after the whistle had gone, after the hoot had gone. So they actually went into the halftime 18 points to 7 with a bit of glimmer of hope. And they then unloaded the bench. And all I'm saying is that Lizo Kaboka changed that game. Came on, started scrummaging Sazi Sandi into the ground, and helped change the momentum. Carried the ball very well. Morne Steyn was put on as well. And that calm head, the level-headedness. Marcel could see a couple of players who came on and just calmed things down for the Bulls. And they started to work their way back up. And they took the lead through a brilliant training ground move with Madosh Tambwe, Harold Forster, and Morne Steyn combining perfectly off the back of a scrum. Morne Steyn gives it to Harold Forster on the inside, is changing the angle. He then gave it to Madosh Tambwe, who was cutting across. So 2 changes of angle were too much for the Stormers to then go ahead. The Stormers, however, managed to claw back, get a try to get close, and then, we didn't see it, but then Paul de Vet scoring a very dramatic late winner to win the game for the men in the Western Cape, which is a huge victory for them because, I think the Bulls just been so dominant and they've got such a good side that they can name a good Currie Cup side and a good URC side. But the Stormers had a lot of good players there, and a lot of them stood up. Warwick Lunt coming back in, combining brilliantly for that try for Herschel Yankees. What a player he is. And credit to the Stormers for getting the job done. If we look at some of the stats, it could be slightly skewed. I'm not sure if this has been influenced by the break in transmission. But possession-wise, Bulls having 60% to Stormers 41%. Beating 2 defenders opposed to 4 defenders beaten. You see this doesn't register all the tries. So I think it is, unfortunately, a bit wrong. So, yeah, we'll look at some of it. Missed tackles, I think West Stormers making more missed tackles. Looking at the set plays, Lanos lost, Stormers lost one line. But apart from that, the set pieces were pretty consistent in terms of if you had the put in, you generally won it. Discipline-wise, penalties were pretty even as well. So I wouldn't say there were too many stats that sort of swayed in the one direction to sort of show you who was the better side. It was a game that sort of ebbed and flowed. But, for 35 minutes, it was all Stormers. Then for the next, arguably 35 minutes, it was all Bulls. And then Stormers managed to sort of... I think the important thing for the Stormers is that Herschel Yankees try. Making sure you're never out of it. Because as soon as you're not out of it, you can always... something can always happen. A bounce of a ball... an easy break, anything, one slip tackle and the game can change. And the big thing with the Stormers is despite the Bulls having, I think it was 26 unanswered points, the Stormers were never completely out of it. That try by Herschel Yankees brought them right back into the game. And then Paul de Vet going over and doing the business. So a very impressive victory for the Stormers. Unfortunately, I said we can't speak about too much in the manner in which the Bulls lost. They'll be frustrated because that opening 35 minutes, they couldn't do anything right. And had they been a bit closer, I think they probably could have gone all the way. Lots of conversation, I suppose, in terms of the decision to bench some of your best players. Now, Jake White has been using some of his best players off the bench to brilliant effect. Unfortunately, I think this time they had too big of a job to do. They were really chasing the game as soon as they came on. But as much as they could chase, they did turn the game around. It was almost like they had too much to do. And the Stormers, those 2 tries in the second half were enough. So, nail-biting stuff and panicky you a little bit for a Stormers fan in terms of being able to see out a game. 18-0 up. That's when you've got to go into game management mode. Play in the Bulls' half. Find those 3-pointers. Just keep extending, build the scoreboard pressure. For the Bulls, credit for not panicking, I suppose. Getting that try before half-time. Then say, right, chaps, we we score another try and we converted it, and we're 4 points off it. And they did that. So some very impressive performances. I thought that Cody Aronson looked very dangerous. I thought Herschel Yankees and Ambrose Pierre were looking pretty decent. In the forwards wise, Sadie Sunday I thought had a very nice outing. Stephen Kitsoff was class, as he always is. I thought Anna Buerta worked very hard. Albert Lowe carried hard, as did Evan Ruiz. Dion Ferreira was pretty good at the breakdown. So a couple of good performances all around. Let me know what you thought about the game down in the comments below. Please do smash a like on the video as well as subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all soon.